What's good, my good people? My name is Peter, and thank you so much for the guys who've been subscribing to my channel. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please go ahead and show your boy some love. I'm on the road to 1,000 subscribers, and I hope I'm gonna get there in the next like 2 months. Okay. Please leave a comment down on my videos anytime that you feel like I need to improve on one or two things. Just go ahead and just let me know where I need to improve, so that I can work on that. Okay. So, or if you like my video, just go ahead and say, you know what, I learned something important and it helped me a lot. That goes away a long way. Okay. Also, go ahead and like my video, and just drop a comment down there. Okay. That would be so helpful. Now, today I'm going to be teaching you about JDBC template. Okay. And in simple terms, imagine that you have a box full of different toys. Okay. So you have a box full of different toys and you want to play with one specific toy, but you can't reach it directly just because the toy box is closed. So you need to have a very special tool, let's call it a toy picker, that will help you reach inside the toy box, find a toy that you want, and bring it out for you to play with. Okay. And in the world of computer programming, we have something similar called JDBC. Okay. JDBC template is like a tool that helps programmers to interact with the database. And that database is like a big storage box for lots of information, just like your toy box is for your toys. Okay. So JDBC templates make it easy for programmers to talk to the database and get information they need. Okay. So basically, JDBC template is like a helpful assistance that make it simple for programmers to work with the database. Okay, and retrieve information from the database. Okay. So I created a very simple microservice application, a back-end microservice application that retrieves data from the database. Okay, and then that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna teach you how to do that. Okay, and then also we will test and see if that completely works. Okay, so just enjoy. So far, guys, we have this application of mine here, which is just a simple application that accepts the email and password from the users. Okay. And this class here is mounted to the database. Okay. So I'm persisting data to the database using JPA repository. Okay. But this is going to change very soon because I'm going to be using JDBC. Okay. So the first thing that you need to do, this is the folder here. Okay, and right click on that folder, go to new, and then create a new class and name this class as user JDBC. Okay, access service. Okay, so what I'm going to do is that I'm going to click on enter. I'm going to click on enter. Okay, now this one is the class called user JDBC data access service, and I'm going to annotate this with at repository. The reason we annotate it with that repository is that this tells the computer that this is a special class that helps to interact with the database. Okay. So the second thing we have to do here is that we need to find a way on how we can connect to the database. And for that to happen, we need to say private final, and then we're gonna say JDBC template. Okay, so this JDBC template over here is a private variable that can only be used inside this class, and it is a link. It is a special tool actually that can be used to talk to the database. Okay, so for us here, we need to create a constructor. Actually, add a constructor, and that's it. Okay, and this here is a special constructor that helps create a new user JDBC access data service object. Okay, this method needs a special tool called JDBC template to work. Okay, and that's why we have it over here inside our parenthesis. We have what we call JDBC template. Okay, so basically this is how you connect to our database. Okay, using JDBC template. So let's go ahead and create a method. So I'm going to say public, okay, and then void. And then I'm going to say insert. This is the name of the method, insert user. Then inside the parentheses, we'll push in users, just like that. Okay. And then we need to create a message. So we're going to say var and then SQL. Okay, and then this is the message here. So I'm gonna have triple quotes. Okay, then inside here I'm gonna say insert into users. Okay, and then I'm gonna insert the email and then the password, and then I'm gonna close this just like that. Okay, and then I'm gonna say the values just like that, and then we have two question marks just there, two question marks just like that. Okay, and then here I'm gonna use the closing speech marks just like that. Okay, so what happens here is that this is a special way on how to insert a new user into our database, and the method is called insert users. Then after that we create a special message over here called the SQL query for database to add a new user, and then we add a new user based on their email and password into the users table. Okay, then after that, once we finish that, we need to go ahead and say JDBC. So we're gonna call JDBC template. Then we'll say update, and then what are we updating? We have the SQL over here, so I'm gonna type SQL. Okay, then I'm gonna say user dot. We need to get the email. Okay, then I'm also gonna say users dot. We need to get the password, you know, just like that, and then finish it up with the uh closing speech marks over here. Okay, then after that we can also decide to like uh put this into a variable, so variable actually, and I'm gonna call it update. Okay, so yeah, that's it, guys. Okay, so basically, this is the user JDBC access service layer. So what we need to do is that we need to create a method inside our user service over here that will help us to, uh, send some information actually to our database. Okay, so what I need to do down here, I need to say private, and then I'm gonna say final, and then I'm gonna insert uh user JDBC. Okay, so I'm gonna say user JDBC access service layer, and then I'm gonna I'm gonna insert that one, then create a constructor over here. Okay, for now I'm gonna comment this repository here where we use it to send data using JPA. So I'm gonna comment it for the time being. And this here is a method that is used with our user repository. As you can see, we have user repository here. And I'm also gonna comment this one since we are not using JPA at the moment. Okay. Then after that, I'm also gonna comment this part here, or what I'm gonna do is just get rid of this. Okay, and then get rid of this one here. Okay, so I'm remaining with the user JDBC data access service. Okay, then after that I need to create a method that will help us insert a user inside our database. Okay, so for us to create a method here, what I'm going to say, I'll say public, and then since we are inserting, okay, we are not expecting anything in return, so we're going to say void, and then we're going to say this is going to be our name of the method, okay, which is insert user. Then after that, inside our parentheses, I'm gonna push on user, okay, and this is user is coming from the control layer, and I'm gonna show you how to do that in a minute. Okay, then after that we will inject user data access service layer, then we're gonna say dot insert user to our users just like that. Then this one after doing that, actually, we need to go back to our controller, click on the controller, and this is the access layer, okay? And here we have the post mapping over here. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to also comment this for the time being because this one is used with the JPA version, okay? So what I'm going to do is that here is a post mapping because we're using post mapping over here, okay? And we are posting let's say public, and then I'm going to say void, and then I'm going to give it a name, insert user, and then inside our parentheses, I'm going to say it's going to request users. Okay, that's what it's going to request. It's going to request users information. Okay, then after that, I'm going to say user service dot insert, and then I'm going to say users, just like that. Okay, so this is the method that we will use. Okay, this is going to be this is an API layer that will accept the user. Then it's going to send it to the user service over here that will push it inside our JDBC access layer. So it's going to get in here, and then inside here is going to be saved inside our database using JDBC template. Okay, and to see if that has worked correctly, I'm going to start my application, but I have to make sure that Docker is up and running because I'm running my database using Docker. If you want to learn how to run your database using Docker, there's a video that I did. So you just go ahead and click on that, and then it's going to show you how to connect your application to database using Docker. And right now, I think so many actually people use Docker, to do most of these connections. Okay, so I'm going to click on run. So this is the name of my uh, database called DB. Then after that, then I'm going to run my application. So give it some time. So application is up and running. So I think let's rerun it one more time because we just started Docker. So as you can see, everything is working well. Okay. So what we need to do here is that I'm going to use Postman, okay, to send some information to our database to see if we can be able to send information using JDBC access layer. So, so this is my path over here. So this path here is the one that is inside here. It's the one that we have here, over here, API v1 user, okay, and that's uh, the one that is here, okay. API v1 user. Okay, then click on body, and this is the email and the password that I want to send inside my database. I think I'm gonna change the password probably because I think there's a password that is the same as this one. So what I'm gonna do is that I'll click on this is a post mapping. Okay, then I'm gonna click on send, and as you can see, we have 200 status. That means that it was successful. Actually, this information was sent into our database successfully. Okay, and for us to know that, actually what we need to do is that just go back to your application. Let's see if we have some logs that happened. As you can see, there's some logs over here. Okay, and then let's go ahead and click on let's go ahead and connect to our database. Okay, so I'm gonna provide password, then sorry. So I just need to know if the information was sent correctly to our database. So what I'm going to do is that I'll connect this to my database called Facebook, just like that. Okay. And then I'm going to say select star from the name of our application is the name of our table actually is this one here. This is the name of our table users. So I'm going to copy this, Control C, and I'm going to post it here just like that. And then I'm going to click on enter, and this is the information that is inside our database. And as you can see, this is the latest one, which is 8, 12, okay, secret 3, and as you can see, this is the one that is here. Okay, so that means we are able to send information to our database using JDBC template. Okay, now we're gonna go also ahead and see how we can get all the list of information that is inside our database using JDBC. So our next step is that we will create a method called get all users, and we're going to get a list of users from our database. Okay, then we're going to use user row mapper, which I always call it a helper that will help us to organize information into a nice object. Okay, Then for us to be able to use user role mapper, we will create a class called user role mapper and implement it to our role mapper. And then we're going to pass user in it. Okay. Then it's going to prompt us to create a constructor, which we're going to do. Then after that, we're going to create an object for each user. Okay. Then we will going to pass some, we're going to pass ID, password, and email, then return the user back. Okay, that's how we get information from database. Okay, now the first thing we're going to do very quick is that we're going to create a method called public, and then we want to return a list of users. Okay, and then the method name is going to be get all users. Okay, then after that, empty parentheses, and then inside here we're gonna create a special SQL query for the database to get all the users. And for me to do that, I'm gonna say string, then type SQL, which is equals to, and then this is a method that is used to get information from the database. So we're gonna say select star, okay, from the name of our table, which is the users. Okay, then after that we're gonna return, okay, JDBC template. We're gonna return JDBC template, and we're gonna return the queries, and what we're gonna return is SQL. Okay, and then we'll have a new uh, user row. Okay, and then we're gonna say mapper, just like that. Okay, then I'm gonna finish it up like that. Okay, so this is what is gonna be returned: JDBC template, and then the query will be SQL, and then the new user role mapper. Okay, and I always say that user role mapper is a helper that helps us to organize the information into a nice list of users object. Okay, and for us to be able to use this role mapper over here, we need to create a class. So I'm gonna say private static. Okay, and then this class here, I'm gonna name it as user row mapper, just like that. And then I'm gonna implement now the row mapper itself, just like that. And then I'll pass in our user, just like that. Then curly brackets. Then it's gonna prompt us to create method, implement the method. So we're gonna implement that method, and this is the method over here. Okay, public user, and then we have map row, and then this result set, the int. Okay, and then we're gonna throw an SQL exception. Okay, then what we need to do inside this method here, we need to create a user for each users. Okay, so for us to do that, let's just type we're going to create an object called users. Okay, so let's do a user. Okay, then this is the object here, users is equals to new, and then we're going to say users, just like that. Okay, then after that, what we're going to do is that we're going to say users dot, and then set ID. Okay, and the ID is gonna be rs, okay, dot get long. So the ID is long. Okay, and then inside here we're gonna pass the ID, just like that. Okay, then after that we're gonna move on to the next one, which you're gonna say user dot, and then this is gonna be set password. Where is it? We're gonna say set password. Okay, and then we're gonna say rs dot, and then get the string. Password is a string, actually. Okay, so we're gonna say get a string, and then the string is gonna be we're gonna type password, just like that. Sorry. Okay, then the next one, we're gonna say user dot set email. Okay, then rs dot get string. Okay, and then this is gonna be the email, just like that. Okay, and then here we will return the user. We're gonna return the user. Okay, so we're gonna return the user, just like that. and we are done actually. Okay, so let me explain this very quick. So we have this get all method that is used to get a list of users from our database, and for us to get our database we need to write an SQL saying select star from the users. Then after that we need to return the JDBC template, which is going to be SQL and the user row mapper. This is a helper that organize our list of information, a list of information into a nice user object. And for us to use this one, we need to create a class called user row mapper and implement row mapper and pass the users. Okay. Then after that, it's going to tell us to create a constructor and to implement a constructor. And we're going to do that. And that's an override. Okay. Then inside this method in here, we're going to create a user object. Okay. For each users. And then the user information is ID, password, and email. Then after that, we're going to return back the user. Okay, so that's what we have done basically. So let's go ahead to user service, and then let's create a method that will help us get all the list of users. Okay, so what I'm going to do is that I'll go back here. I need this information actually here. I need this information here. Okay. So I'm going to copy this, Control C. Okay. So inside our service class, I'm going to say public, a list of users, get all users. And then I'm going to say user JDBC service dot get all users and then close it. So this is actually going to be a return. Okay. So you will return a list of users. Then after that, we need to create a method inside our API called get mapping. Okay, get mapping that will help us to get all the information from our database. Okay, so what we're gonna do is that I'm gonna say at get mapping over here, and then inside here I'm gonna create a path actually. So it's gonna be users just like that. So is it possible to do this actually? Path? Yeah, actually it is actually. So this is the path. Okay. Users. So after writing API v1 user, so it's gonna be slash and then users to get all the list of information from our database. Then after that, what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna say public. Okay. Then list, and then inside the list I'm gonna say users. Okay, and then gonna write get, sorry, I'm gonna say get uh, all users. Actually supposed to be small letters here. Get all users. Okay, and then I'm gonna say return user service, which is this one here that connects to our user service. Okay, and then dot get users, and that's it. Okay, so let's run our application and see if we can get the users from our database. So running the application. So the application is up and running. So let's go back to Postman and then let's do a post. So I'm going to extend this and say slash users. Okay. Then I'm going to do a get mapping. Okay. So I'm going to click on send. And as you can see, we have a list of all the information inside our database, as you can see. So if I copy this part here, Control C, and then go straight to my Firefox over here, and then copy and then paste this part here and click enter, you will see that it will give me all the list of users over here. So we have ID, you know, the email and the password too. Okay. And also, I think this is not that okay. So let me use Firefox. So I'm gonna type and paste this. And you can see we have a list of users that is coming from our database actually. Yeah, this is awesome actually. This is awesome. Okay. So we're using JDBC actually to do all this. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do is that we will try and get information, get user by ID. So far what we have done is that we have inserted user inside our database. We have also got all the users, from our database. Okay. Now, The next thing we're going to do is that we will create a method that will help us get only user by ID. Okay, we're going to create a method that will help us get a user by ID. And for us to do that, we're going to say public and then users and then get uh, user by ID, just like that. And this is the name of our method, okay? And since we're getting user by ID, we need inside our parentheses, we need to pass the ID actually, okay? And this is going to be long and then ID, okay? Then after that, let's go ahead and create a special message, which is the SQL query for the database to get the user from us with a specific ID. So what we do here, we're going to say string and then SQL, just like that, and then equals to, then I'm going to say select, then star from users, okay, and then we're going to say where ID is equals to, now that's the ID, okay, and then close it with a semicolon. So here we will return uh, JDBC template dot, then we have the query for object, okay, and here inside here we're gonna type SQL, okay, and then we're gonna do a new object, sorry, object, okay, which is this one here, and then some array, and then curly brackets, just like that, and then inside the curly brackets let's type ID, okay, then after that we also return new user row mapper, okay. So this is what we are doing here, okay, that will help us to get data from database using our ID, okay. So we're gonna say public and then you're gonna say users, and then we have get sorry, get user by, and then we say ID, okay. Then let's pass the ID, which is long, and then ID, just like that, okay. And then let's say user JDBC template dot get user by ID, and then what we're going to do is that we'll pass the ID just like that, okay. And this we have to return this, okay. Then after that, let's go to our controller where we're going to do a get mapping, and for this one we will do a get mapping. We're going to do a get mapping, but we also have to specify the ID, okay. So we say get mapping and then the ID over there, okay. So I think what we're going to do is that use the curly brackets over here and then put an ID there, okay. Then after that, let's go ahead and create a method, okay. So we're going to say public, and here we're going to say public users, okay. And then we're going to say get, sorry, get user by ID, okay. And then after that we're gonna pass you're gonna do at path variable, okay, at path variable, just like that, okay. Then we're gonna pass there our ID here, so we're gonna say long, okay, and then we're gonna pass our ID in there. Then over here we're gonna say return user service, okay, dot get user by ID, okay, and then just close it like that. So this method is going to help us to get user by ID. So let's go ahead and run our system again and then try to see if that's what's going to happen, if we can be able to get data from our database using ID. So it's up and running, okay. So what we're going to do is that go back to our template, go back to our post, okay, postman, then get, and then we have to get user by ID. Just say maybe you want to get ID4, okay, only ID4. So if I send that, as you can see, we are only getting ID4, okay. So if I get this one and copy and open my Firefox, and then just type here. Actually, type here. Let's say type ID3 and click. Okay, okay. So I think I need to get rid of these users over there. Then 3. Oh, okay, and then let's say 2. So we're getting 2. Let's say we want to get ID1, so we can get ID1. And if you want to get ID 5, hopefully we have ID 5, then we have ID 5. And also if you want to now again get all the users, you can get all the users. Okay. So that's how JDBC works. Okay. You can also achieve all this with JPA, but sometimes it's good also to learn how to use JDBC. Okay. So that you can be able to interact with your database. You can go ahead and also try learning how to delete, okay, an ID from the database, which is so very easy to do that. Okay. And then, yeah, if you like this video, just go ahead and, comment, leave a comment, like the video, show your boy some love, man. Okay. Thank you so much. I'll see you on the next video.